The curiosity that brings one to Azur Lane starter guides. I was there myself years ago, and I can honestly say I don't regret a single thing about my Azur Lane journey. Well, okay, maybe I have a few regrets, but nothing that is too big of a deal. If I was just a little more informed about the way certain things worked in the game, I would not have made those mistakes that led to those regrets. So here I am, with a guide for any newcomer to this wonderful game. Azur Lane is my first gacha game, and is still the one I primarily play. If you're like me and became curious about what this game has to offer after seeing some amazing fan art, then I could say this is the perfect place to start. To preface, I should make it clear that what I say in this video should be taken as mere suggestions. If there is a different approach to the game that you feel works better, then do that. I am just offering this advice with players that may have played this game for less than a month in mind. New players. This is the starter guide after all. Now, I will be making my explanations by focusing on different resources in the game to explain the general gameplay flow, since many mechanics are tied to those resources. To start, I will talk about oil and coins. I put these two in the same section because you are guaranteed a certain amount of them every day from your canteen and merchant sections in your headquarters. One thing I really want to emphasize the most about these resources is to take your time with the game. If you burn through all your oil, then you should take a break for the day and come back the next day, and you can restock when your canteen refills. Oil can also be stocked over your oil limit when you complete commissions and pick up your bi-weekly supply kit from the store. As for your coins, you're going to use them for many things, but only use them for what you need in the moment. You use them to strengthen your ships when you enhance their weapons, limit break them, retrofit them, and cognitive awaken them. Limit break and awakening is basically removing a level cap on a ship. For beginners, I want to advise that you limit break your ship girls sparingly, since doing so raises the oil costs to use that ship. Retrofitting is available to some ships and is sort of like digivolving. They get changes to skills, stats, and just how they look too. Coins are also used for the gacha system, which I'll explain more about in the Wisdom Cube section. Now again, with everything you can do with coins and how important oil is, I want to emphasize once again to take your time. Don't spend all your coins limit breaking every ship you can just because you can. Don't pull a crazy amount of ships when there isn't even an event. Use them only when you really need them, like when there is an event banner or when you reach the level cap for a ship you need to limit break. Now, gems are your premium currency in the game. I like to think of gems like this. There are free gems you get in the game by completing stages, and there are gems you pay money for. My advice is to use the free gems to increase your dock space, the skill class thing, and your dorm space. Only spend money on gems when you want to buy a skin for one of your favorite ship girls. Dock space is especially important because there are hundreds of unique characters, and if you want to hold on to them, you're going to need more space. Do not spend gems to get more coins, oil, or wisdom cubes. The only time when you should do that is if you're just a baller. Like if you have the money and you want to spend it on that stuff, more power to you, go for it. Otherwise, if you're free to play or you're a bit frugal in your playstyle, I would advise just don't spend the gems for those. Wisdom cubes are the resource that is tied to the all-important gacha system. This is going to be the thing that gets you the new and powerful ships. Just like oil and coins, you're going to want to use wisdom cubes sparingly. My philosophy that if there is no event banner, do not pull more than one ship a day. Your one daily pull should be used in the light construction section of the recruit center. One of your daily missions that rewards a cube is to spend a cube. So you gain cubes every day as long as you're doing the rest of your daily missions. I know it's super tempting to pull for ships when you're starting out, but trust me, you're going to want to have a healthy stack of cubes when an event comes. Like the Atelier Riser event that's going on the week this video comes out. This is a good point to mention that when you are starting, I would advise that you use the sips you get as drops from completing stages. Many of them have retrofits that, although it may vary in late game utility, using them early on better ensures that you can complete the ship collection. Bullins are special ships that are used to limit break your other ship girls. They should only be used to limit break your ship girls. They are not meant to be used in a fleet. Once again, I should advise to only limit break once you have reached level cap, or you just really need to clear some dock space. So the last thing I want to cover really quickly in this guide is the equipment boxes. Only open purple and gold equipment boxes and craft the gray and blue ones into purple boxes. That's really all there is to them. Now, I have only scratched the surface when it comes to Azur Lane. There are many other resources and gameplay mechanics such as cognitive awakening chips, augments, the doohickeys for metaships, and the endgame section known as Operation Siren. I'm not going to talk about those in this video since I think that stuff isn't really relevant to a newcomer until they reach like chapter 9 or so. And that's it for my starter guide 2022 edition. If you found any of these tips helpful, you could leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more Azur Lane content from me. I want to point some attention to some other Azur Lane channels which have taught me a lot throughout my years of playing, and they still do make good content. I want to shout out Chemo Cheese, Azur Lane Meta, and Ander. I think Ander still makes videos. I watch them a lot to learn what I know now, and they have a lot more in-depth information, which I think would be helpful if you want to learn about more advanced stuff like the endgame mechanics. I will probably make a small guide about that sort of stuff, like what is the meta ships, how to use the doohickeys, I don't know what they're called, and about Operation Siren. I might make a guide for that later down the line. But until then, this is just a starter guide for those who may have just downloaded this game like really recently because of the new event and they're really interested in the game. So yeah, I hope this helps you out. And I hope you stick around with Azur Lane. Again, this is like my favorite gacha game. I've tried many others. Some I stick around with, most of them I don't. And I think that's just because Azur Lane kind of spoils us because the drop rates are so good, the events are so good, the illustrations and the character designs are so high quality that it's like, why would I need anything else? I love Azur Lane. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. And if you have any other questions too that you want me to address, like either in the comment section or maybe in another video, comment those down below. And also comment if you started playing this game because of the Atelier Ryza event, or like if you just saw some fan art of some of the ship girls and you just got really curious and you're like, okay, I'm gonna bite the bullet and download the game, because that's what I did in 2020. Yeah, I just saw so much cool character fan art and I was like, I gotta see what this game is about, and now I'm hooked. So yeah, let me know how you started your Azur Lane journey, and I hope that you stick around for this journey because it looks like there's nothing but great things to come for the game Azur Lane. But yeah, that's going to be it for this guide. Really appreciate you watching up to this point. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you around. Goodbye!